Shane Bieber to the Dodgers. It could happen. That's coming up next on Dodgers Dugout. Hey, what's going on, Dodgers Nation? Doug McKain here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. Maybe I need to go create a Threads now, but for now, you can follow me at DMAC_LA. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel for our latest Dodgers news and rumors all season long. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you really want to support the channel, you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. And as always, I'm with your takes down below in the comment section. Today's Dodgers Nation question of the day: do you want to see the Dodgers trade for Shane Bieber? Do you have any packages you want to put together? Who would you not trade for Shane Bieber? Let me know down below. And for our latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. So should the Dodgers trade for Shane Bieber? Am I a believer? Well, first question is, how desperately do the Dodgers need starting pitching? Because we just saw this week, the Dodgers will not have Dustin May back this season. He was on the 60-day IL. He had the PRP shot. They hoped that he would respond well and be back. But no, he's having his second major elbow surgery in a little over 2 years. He won't be back until the middle of next summer at the earliest. They lose Clayton Kershaw with a shoulder issue. He's on the IL. Hopefully that's not going to be anything serious. I told you last night Julio Urias was going to have a good start. He ends up going 6 innings, gave up 2 runs. Tony Gonsolin's underperformed. Bobby Miller, they've had to use him already for 8 starts. He's had his ups and downs, but he definitely had a solid go of it, going 5 2/3 in his last start, allowing 4 runs. And Emmett Sheehan, he's shown flashes too. Hopefully they get Ryan Pepiot back. Michael Grove is doing what he can. But all in all, this Dodgers starting rotation, they haven't lived up to the hype. I mean, Gavin Stone, he was the first young Dodgers starter to come up and get an opportunity. He certainly has not looked like the minor league pitcher of the year from last season. It still remains to be seen if he can realize that potential, but I don't think you can count on it for this season. And you just look at all around, they're just not that group that you'd hope they would be. And the number one thing I'm looking at, yes, and when it comes to ERA, they're not great. You notice when it comes to FIP, they're right in the middle of the pack, but it's innings pitched. It's quality starts. And right now, the first thing you need to know is they're not getting enough length from their starting pitchers, because last year they were top 10 in that category. You look at quality starts, you look at innings pitched, they were towards the top. This year, it hasn't been the case. So far this season, the Dodgers starters have combined to throw 437 1/3 innings. That's good for 23rd in Major League Baseball. 23rd out of 30. That's not going to get it done. You need more length and continuing to tax his bullpen. On top of that, it snowballs with the fact that you're going to lose Daniel Hudson for a significant amount of time, and I think they need to add a bullpen piece as well. But today we're going to focus on starting pitching, because I think 100% if the Dodgers want to be serious contenders, you have to go out there and trade for a starter, for a top 3 rotation type of guy, maybe even multiple starters if they lose more guys due to injuries. But let's start with one, and today we're starting with Shane Bieber. So we're going to start a series. We're going to break down every single possible Dodgers trade target. We're going to dedicate a video to them, and today it's on Shane Bieber. So the first question when it comes to Shane Bieber is he available? Will the Guardians be sellers? Because right now they're hovering around 500. They're second in the AL Central, but that is not going to prevent them from making a trade. MLB insider Ken Rosenthal, he wrote this in his recent piece for The Athletic. As a low-revenue team, the Guardians are forever gauging their players' trade values. Considering the uncertainties surrounding Tristan McKenzie, Bieber might be too valuable to move in the middle of a pennant race. But he is under control through 2024, and the Guardians generally prefer to act sooner rather than later. So yes, that is how the Guardians operate. They're not a big money team, a big market team that's going to go out there and get big name free agents to come to Cleveland. The way they are able to get stars is if they trade their stars that are under team control for a few seasons, they trade them before they have to pay them, and they develop the next star. They develop the next Shane Bieber, the next Francisco Lindor. You saw they trade Lindor to the Mets. He signed a big extension with New York. He was never a possibility for Cleveland. Now, yes, they were able to get Jose Ramirez to sign that 5-year, $124 million extension, but that was the exception, not the rule. And that was a unique situation because, one, Jose Ramirez likes Cleveland. He wanted to be there. And two, he did give them a hometown discount. You're not going to see that with Shane Bieber. Shane Bieber is under one more year of team control. So whatever team trades for him gets him for the rest of this season and all of next year. Now, Bieber is a guy that's set for one really big payday in his career. It's not going to be monstrous. It's not going to be huge, but it's still going to be a really nice payday. And also, he's represented by Drew Rosenhaus. Now, you might know Drew Rosenhaus because he was the inspiration for Jerry Maguire. Well, now he has a baseball division, and the guy who's helping him run that is a former Boris employee, and Shane Bieber is their biggest client. So they need to make a statement. They can do that by getting him the biggest deal possible, and that isn't going to be with the Guardians. So that is why the Guardians should absolutely trade Shane Bieber now while he has value, while he has another year of team control. That's how you can maximize the return on him. Now, does he make sense for the Dodgers? Well, the first thing you need to know about Shane Bieber is that this isn't 2020 Cy Young winning Shane Bieber. This isn't that guy. Yes, he's still good. He's just not an ace. And I think at this point, what I like most about him, why it makes the most sense for the Dodgers, is this guy post. This guy is very durable. Last year, he threw 200 innings. That was the third most in the American League. This year, he's pitched 110 and 2/3 innings. That's the seventh most in baseball. So right now, the Dodgers, they don't need A-plus Bieber. They need B Bieber. If they can get B Bieber, that would be just fine. The other thing, too, if you look at the velocity of his fastball, a lot has been made about that. And yes, it has declined. In 2020, he was averaging 94.1 miles per hour on the heater. Then the 3 years following that, 92.8 miles per hour, 91.3 miles per hour. And this year, it's at 91.4 miles per hour. So yes, the velocity has dipped, but I think it's important to remember that he's not a velocity-reliant pitcher. He was never a guy that threw 100-mile-per-hour heaters. He's not like a Noah Syndergaard type of pitcher that needs velo to be effective. No, he has a nice pitch mix. He has a very effective slider. I would say it's about top 40 in the league right now. It's a -5 run values. You compare it to Clayton Kershaw, who has the 5th best slider in the league. So it's not quite at that level, but still it's a very effective pitch, averaging 84.6 miles per hour, has a vertical drop of 36.7 inches. The active spin rate is 22% with 4.7 inches of total movement. So yes, that is a pitch that the Dodgers love. That's a pitch that Mark Pryor and this pitching development staff, they know very well. They know mechanically how to optimize it, and I'm sure if they got Shane Bieber in their hands, that he would be even better and more effective in Dodger blue. So yeah, I definitely think he does make sense. I think if you look at him, he's not going to be your game one starter. He's not going to be a dominant force, but he can still really help this rotation that's reeling right now. So is he still a Cy Young caliber winning starting pitcher? Is he still an ace? I would say right now the answer is no. Will he be that again in his career? I'd say probably not. Could he still be a number 2 or 3 starter on a World Series contending team? I definitely think there's still something there. And I think most importantly, he could be a tremendous help to this Dodgers rotation because 1, he still can be effective, and 2, he pitches. He goes deeper into games. Like I said, he's 7th right now in innings pitched, and right now that's exactly what this Dodgers team needs. Now, if you take a deeper look at his numbers, it's solid at 3.66 ERA, the FIP a little high at 4.13, the expected ERA at 4.90, and you also look at the strikeout and walk rates. I mean, his strikeout rate this season is at 19.3%. That would be the lowest in his career. For context, his Cy Young season, that was at 41.1%. The following year in 2021, that was at 33.1%. So the strikeout numbers, they've dropped. Also, the walk rate has gone up. This season is 7.2% walk percentage. That would be the second highest in his career. So you want to see him lower that mark. The opponent's batting average sitting at 244. The whip at 1.24. So yes, the whiff rate, the K rate, they've gone down. The walk rate has gone up. If you look at some of his StatCast metrics, his average exit velocity in the 8th percentile, hard hit percentage in the 9th percentile, bail percentage close to league average in the 45th percentile. Really, only thing he has that's elite is the extension at 81 percentile. The fastball spin is above average as well. But some of the contact numbers, the expected numbers, they've all gone up, and you would want to see those improved if the Dodgers made the trade. So I would be for a Shane Bieber trade. I would sign off on it as long as you're not giving an ace's return. And the Cleveland Guardians, they're a franchise that they do not get fleeced. They usually do the fleecing. So to me, it's just a matter of the package that they would want in return. Now, would you include a Michael Busch? Would you include a Nick Nastrini? Would you include some of these top-level prospects? I would say if you could hold off on that, then I would say maybe you make the move. Now, Michael Busch, I'm high on Michael Busch. I think Busch is a guy that could have success in this league. I could see him hitting 275 to 300 on a lot of teams out there. The hit tool is absolutely there. Defensively, I don't see him as a plus defender. And look, the reality is that, of course, you always love the prospects in your organization. You think that most of these guys are going to work out. The reality is that 70% of prospects fail. 70% of prospects don't go on to have a big impact on their big league organizations. And this is a Dodgers organization that preaches to their players, hey, when you go out there in single A, double A, triple A, yes, you have the Dodgers uniform on, but they tell their players you are auditioning for 30 teams around the league. So that's something that you have to consider too, is Michael Busch is the guy that needs an opportunity. He needs an opportunity to play. And if it's not going to be for the Dodgers, then hey, maybe you do him right by sending him to an organization where he can have a future, where he can have a role, where he can get the opportunity that I think he deserves. Because look, at this point, he's closer to 30 than he is to 20, and he needs an opportunity. And I think if the Dodgers aren't going to use him, then you got to trade him. It's play him or trade him at this point. And I also think too, let's not pretend like we know that all these guys are going to be a success. Look, you don't know tomorrow's lottery numbers, right? So you have to take your swings. You have to cash in on some of these trade chips when you can. And I think that Andrew Friedman, for the most part, has done a really nice job. But I think there are some cases where, yeah, you might have held on to a guy for longer than you should have. So, yeah, I would be willing to trade for Shane Bieber. I think I talked about Ahmed Rosario in the past. So could you do a deal with Shane Bieber and Ahmed Rosario? I think maybe if he's a throw-in, you could look at that. But Rosario, right now, he's 15% below league average offensively, defensively, one of the worst at his position. So how much does he help this team? At this point, does he move the needle? I would say the answer is no. But Shane Bieber, I think in Dodger Blue, when you consider the fact that he helps you for the rest of this season and then next year, you need solid, okay? I mean, we're not talking about great at this point. You need solid right now for the Dodgers rotation. And next year, there are tons of questions. More questions than an episode of Jeopardy. Now, if you sign Shohei Ohtani, great. That's your ace. That's your opening day starter. It'll be a wonderful day at Dodger Stadium. But if you don't, there are tons of questions. Julio Urias could be on a new team. Clayton Kershaw could be retired or on the Texas Rangers. Hopefully, he'll be back. Walker Buehler, hopefully he'll be a starting pitcher once again. If that's the case, he'll be in the front of that rotation. Dustin May, he won't be back until the middle of the summer at the earliest. And when he does, will he be a starter? How will Tony Gonsolin look? How will some of these younger pitchers, the Ryan Pepios, the Michael Groves, how will they continue to develop? How about the real young guns, the Bobby Millers, the Gavin Stones, the Emmett Sheehan? So there are tons of questions. And yes, you need another left-handed starter, especially if you lose Clayton Kershaw and Julio Urias. But right now, you also need some mature starters. And I think Shane Bieber, he'd be around for next season. It really helps solidify this Dodgers rotation. So, yeah, I would be for the move. I think there's other names out there we're going to talk about. Lucas Giolito, Marcus Stroman, guys that are on expiring contracts that will be free agents at the end of the season that would also make sense. And also, I think kind of the big fish, Dylan Cease, if he becomes available, I mean, that's a guy, when you look at his velocity has came down a little bit, but the Dodgers could probably get it back up. He's still young. The whiff rate, I think he's really a true ace. And if you want to go big, that to me is the guy if he becomes available. But Shane Bieber at the right price, he absolutely makes a lot of sense. He doesn't raise the ceiling too high, but he absolutely raises that floor and gives this rotation some much needed innings and stability. And also, let's not forget, he went to UCSB. He's a Gaucho. He's from California. When he went to UCSB, he was a preferred walk-on. He had no college scholarships. He takes them to the College World Series there in 2016. So this guy knows what it's like to kind of make it back and make it up. So I could see Shane Bieber on that 1 year after this season, one to have his best year, one to play his best ball, one to go out there and shove in a contract year and get himself a big payday. So I am a believer. I'm not all in. I'm not saying go trade your top prospects. He's a must get. But if he becomes available at the right price, I think he'd absolutely help this rotation. But let me know down below in the comment section, what are your thoughts on the Dodgers going after Shane Bieber? Do you want to see him in Dodger Blue? Who do you want to see the Dodgers trade for? Let me know down below. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. For all things Dodger baseball all season long, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.